guys, so this week's video is just going to be another Caspian rewrite. So throughout the video, you may notice some minor changes to the story, like the change of chloroglobin to chloramine. But besides that, there's nothing really major. Anyways, enjoy. Cue the music. The Archimediae Genesis, Caspian Rewrite Chapter 3. The steady hum of aero cars breaks through the window from outside. Faint lights arise in other homes as the corpse zone wakes up. The soft patter of rain as it pelts the ground. "Lex, tell me the weather for today," I say. A soft male voice answers from across the room. "Today, it's 33 degrees Fahrenheit, with rainy skies throughout the day. Expect light wind and low ozone levels. Advisories say that the sun protection is not needed and only an oxygen mask will do." Good. The last thing I want is to drag a heavy sunsuit with me all day. Especially today. Still getting the sleep out of my eyes, I take out my silicone storm case, with the regular storm emblem on top. I put in the electronic combination, a beep following each tap. The case clicks open, revealing the velvet-lined inside, the cheapest we could afford. As I pack in the clothes, memories of them flash through my eyes. I wore that white shirt when I sprained my leg in the accident. I wore that red one when I gave the presentation on V-School. I'd gone through so many filters in the computer camera to make sure that the shirt didn't appear dirty. Slowly, footsteps enter my room. "What, Dad?" I say quietly. Then I feel the cold, soft hand on my shoulder. "It's Mom," the person says with her soothing voice. Without saying a word, she crouches next to me, helping me pack. As I'm about to finish, she picks up a small yellow plushie. "Remember this?" she asks. "Yeah," I mutter. "After the burst, I got sick. You guys got this to cheer me up." She stifles a sob. I notice that her eyes are red. "I can't believe it's been so long," she says. I try to reassure her, placing my palm over her hand. "I'll be back before you know it." Dad's voice yells at us from outside the door. "Come on, we have to go now!" Stuffing the plushie inside, I zip up the case and meet Dad outside of the door. He takes my shoulder and leads me outside, opening the door. We walk down the public parking as my dad tries to remember which row we parked our aero car in. After a few minutes, we finally find the teardrop-shaped vehicle, model TX-140. The tinted windows reflect the harsh light of the parking unit. Dad taps his finger on the large back of the car, and a digital screen washes over the area, letting out an electronic note. The back slides open, revealing the space under the seats inside. Once I slide the case into the back, Dad closes it and we enter the pod. The interior is washed in white, with white seats, white rubber, white leather, and even a white handle. The picture of Dad posing in front of the car hangs from the rear-view mirror. He'd won it when he'd gotten a promotion back at his old job in New Richmond. The car was deemed to be high-end and high quality. Now it's just your regular, run-of-the-mill aero car. The car slowly hums to life as it powers up and begins hovering in the air. Dad types a button for autopilot and clicks movie mode. A screen washes over the windscreen as the car's AI takes over. "Well, last movie before you go," Dad says. "Which one?" I think, gazing through the options. "How about The Federation Strikes Back?" Mom smiles. "Oh yeah, isn't that the best one in the Solar Wars series?" "Yeah," Dad says, selecting the movie. He clicks a few more buttons, and the car goes completely dark, the central focus being the screen. It starts out with a short interview on the guy who came up with it, an historian on the early 21st century. "You see," he says, "I'd come up with an original idea on this war." His monologue gets interrupted as Dad skips through the interview. You can ignore this ad, an ad pops up, but what you can't ignore are the millions of lives that are at stake because of the Archimediae and USR rebellions. Help the helpless and support the Protocloria in their fight against these foes at... Suddenly the ad pauses and the front window rolls open, a uniformed PPF behind it. Due to the recent terror attacks, he says, we have to do identity checks for each of our citizens to root out any novae. Your identity cards, please, he says. Crack. No. Mom and Dad quickly rummage through their bags and gives the PPF our identity cards. While he scans them, I frantically rummage through the back pocket of our car, searching for the chloramine serum. Where is it? I hear the beeps approving the cars. There! My fingertips touch a metal box. Also, because of the novae attacks, the PPF begins. I open the lock as fast as I can, silently hoping he can't hear the electronic beeps and the latch opening. Time freezes as he continues. We have to conduct tests for anyone under the age of 21, he finishes as he slowly turns towards me. Crouching down, I inject the needle into myself. Immediately, a hit of grogginess floods my system. It's a struggle to stay awake as the serum takes a hold of me. In the background, the window opens beside me. All right, the PPF says, just give me your arm. I slowly lift my arm and rest it on the window frame. He pauses for a moment and asks, are you okay? The heartbeat pounds its way through the grogginess and rush with adrenaline, I say. Oh yeah, it's nothing, just morning grogginess. The helmet nods and the PPF takes out his own needle, sanitizes it by sticking it into a handheld machine, and stabs it into my hand. The pain of the needle juts through the sleepiness and I wince in pain. Saying nothing, he takes it and drops a few drops on a pad on his wrist. We wait. I wait. My heart pounds in fear. Well, clear, he says. You're free to go. Sighing, Dad drives us onto the airway, and Mom turns around and squeezes my knee. Good job, she whispers. That's the last thing I hear before everything goes dark. Chapter 4. When I finally wake from the effects of the chloramine, I feel the energy surging through my veins. No, literal energy. I test it out by lifting Mom's coffee cup from across the car. Of course, I can't touch it. The seatbelt would never allow me to. Regardless, it floats in the air. The idiotic relics that say it's a sign from God. Ugh. Noticing my awakening, Mom turns around in her seat to face me. Caspi? Concentrating, I pull the mug over in front of her and wave it around. Nice, she says. You still remember? No. I remember how they'd freaked out, almost had become a relic themselves, and then they'd learn what it was. I was young enough to avoid being enrolled as a novae worker. If they'd discovered me then, I wouldn't be thinking these thoughts. Noticing that the movie is gone, I'd roll down the windows, letting the misty air flow past me. The dark city, probably Charlotte, looms in the distance, probably far enough to be out of range from the power dampeners. The stormy clouds float around us, torrenting the ground with rain. Faint cries of a protest ring out somewhere, probably about gen engineering or whatever they've come up with these days. Just not about us novae. Slowly, the outline of the tetherport breaks the fog, and our aero car swerves into the terminal. Parents rush into the doors, dragging their kids behind. Businessmen rush into the building. It's a mess. Slowly, the cries of the protest grows louder as a flurry of footsteps march onto the airport. Stop sorting our children! Stop sorting our children! They decide, not you! Not you! The protest rings out into the quiet air. Stay inside, Mom whispers. And then the first rocks pelt our car.